Let's start at the bottom. Japanese cruiser Yahagi. So here we go. No chat. Thank you for the sub, my dude. Yahagi. What is special about the Yahagi? 26k health at tier 5. That's pretty decent. I mean, Furutaka has 30k, so... But then, is it fair to compare anything with the Furutaka? What can we slot? We can slot Hydro, Standard Hydro, and we can slot Fighter Plane. Pretty good consumables for tier 5, that's for sure. What are the guns? 152s with a 10-second reload. That is a pretty long reload. The range is decent, 14.9. I'm not gonna win any awards, but it's decent.
Just got the rage socks in the mail.
Armor
I'm
is
still
squishy.
waiting for my poi pillow and poi mug flame poi.
Wild shiny Absol. Congratulations on your rage socks. Thank you for the 3. Citadel doesn't seem too bad. Very overmatchable like all low tier cruisers though. But I think the gimmick with this thing was... Yes, this was the gimmick with this thing. The torpedoes. First of all, our concealment is 11. You guys can't quite see it. Can I move? Oh fuck. Can my cam stop being like, hello? I'm gonna put myself here. I'm always in the way. Story of my life. Feel this is too real right now. Alright, 11 kilometer range. And you slap a concealment expert captain on this thing. And you got 10 km torps. 2x4. Whoa! Look at that torpedo damage. Look at that torpedo damage. At tier 5? Holy shit. 67 knots. 21k damage. What? I'm sorry? What? These are literally like... These are high tier torpedoes. These are literally high tier torpedoes. Only 2x4 though, but holy crap, this hit like a truck. And the 10 km range, I mean with concealment expert captain on top. These are gonna catch so many low tier ships off guard. And these are gonna be so strong against a bunch of bullshit that you might face if you're up tiered like Fijis and Belfasts and things like that, because you can just torp the smoke. So, wow. Okay, interesting. AA defense. I mean, it's low tier AA. Unlikely to be that special. Maneuverability, 35 knots. That's not really too bad. With a speed flag on top. With a speed flag on top, this thing is actually very fast. So the gimmick here is debatable artillery, but really good torpedoes. Normally, that's not really a trade you want to go for though, because gunpowder tends to trump torpedo power, simply because gunpowder is more consistent, whereas torpedo power... Yeah, there's a lot of ways to counter it, so... I don't know. Interesting? Might work out? Depends on kind of what kind of firing angles it gets and what kind of torpedo angles. We can't really check those right now. But for tier 5, it certainly has some ambush gimmick potential with these kind of torpedoes. Super Sniper, thank you for the sub, my dude. Torp reload time is 120 seconds? Yeah, 120 seconds, so 2-minute reload. Yeah, gonna be a bit sketchy on that one. It's a very important thing, a very defining thing on how the ship plays will be the torpedo angles. If the torpedo angles are terrible, then the gameplay is going to be very frustrating as well. Torpedo angles are shit as fuck, someone says to me in chat. That's a very polite... Oh, wait, is this the... Wow, look where this torp launcher is hidden. What? They're right in the middle of... So they can... I think they can only fire literally straight out the side. Seriously? You can okay, what's important here though is that they're both central torpedo launchers, which means you can launch 8 in one. You don't have to turn like you turn one side and then turn the other to launch your torps. You can launch them both to one side. That's great, but this already tells me that the torpedo angles are going to be absolutely dreadful. But being able to launch 8 torps that hit for 21k at tier 5, that's kind of terrifying. Should be very interesting. Should be very interesting. Angles are bad, but yeah. Angles might be bad, but the fact that they're both central, I thought they were side torps, like you usually have on Aoba and Furutaka and so forth, but they're both central torps, which means that you can launch them to either side. That is certainly very spicy. Next up, what other ships did we have? Oh, I actually skipped the Viribus Unitis. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. I'm just letting you guys know now. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. Let's see. What do we have here? That's a lot of goddamn. What? Didn't they like remove Nikolai for having too much firepower? Like, am I watching a goddamn Nikolai Volume 2? Tier 4 like German Nikolai? 35k health. What kind of citadel are we dealing with? Okay. Pretty good armor. Man, the HE resistance. Wow, the HE resistance is gonna be really good on this thing. What? What? Comrade Stalingrad, is that you? Holy okay, what? What in God's name is this frontal armor? Holy shit. Okay, well, nose in. You don't have a lot to shoot at. What the hell? That's very tanky. Let's see. Is it turtleback? Turtleback as well? No, what? It is a turtleback. Holy shit. It's actually a turtleback with a 48mm sloped citadel. It's literally above the waterline, the entire way above the waterline. It's incredibly sloped. And on top of that we have the turtleback. Holy shit, and this turtleback is tanky. Okay. Okay then. So, no citadels for you, comrade. Viribus Unitis reporting for duty. What's the speed? Let's look at the speed. The speed is dreadful. The turning circle is great. What do you want, phone? It cannot be important. What do you want? No, it's not important at all. Get lost. The turning circle is spicy as expected on low tiers. The speed is dreadful, but this thing is monstrously tanky. Concealment is pretty spicy as well. What's the range? 14.7? With a 10.5 concealment. This is without the seal clubbing captain. You slap a concealment expert captain on this thing and we're talking what, 9 point something concealment? 9.2? 9.1? I'm not entirely sure. It's gonna be something insane. Like, imagine being an Omaha and this thing pops up at 9.5. Fucking rip. Enjoy the rest of your time in port. Oh my lord. Secondary range only 3.5, but armor penetration of 24mm, which means it's gonna pen everything low tier. And the guns themselves, 32-second reload, 60-second turret reverse, which is pretty slow, but still 32-second reload on a broadside this heavy, 800 meters per second. Unless this thing has the worst dispersion in the world, I'm talking literally Gneisenau squared, this thing is gonna be an absolute monster. Weren't they supposed to like remove König Albert and nerf Orion and remove Nikolai and all this stuff because it was too overpowered, and then they add this thing? Is
there any reason why you are not using FrankerFace's Twitch extension?
Probably because I've been too lazy to install it. I could absolutely install it, minced potato. Thank you for the 4 months. I could absolutely install it. I'm just been too lazy. But 210 meter dispersion at 14.7. 210 at 14.7. 206 at 14.6. It's almost identical to New Mexico dispersion. I mean, that's pretty bad, sure, but it's tier 4. And you fight at significantly closer ranges. Huh. Well, this thing, initial impression is this thing is a goddamn monster. We'll see how it plays, but 12 gun broadside with sub 10 kilometer concealment with unhittable citadel with heavy armor against HE, it's like, I'm not sure what the downsides are. Low HP pool? Maybe? Maybe it's low HP pool, but questionable. Borea's real, thank you for the 15. This thing looks like a monster. This thing looks like a goddamn monster. I think low HP pool is supposed to be the balancing factor, but I mean, 35.7? What does the Kaiser have? 10, Kaiser is so tanky, 10k more. Wyoming though has, I mean, let's see. Myogi has 46k. 46k. So it's gotta, the health pool is probably gonna be the balancing factor. The thing is though, if you angle in that thing, it's not like you're gonna actually eat any damage. Yeah, I think the balancing factor is supposed to be the low HP pool. But good luck whittling that HP pool down against this thing. Holy shit. Not gonna be an easy one. Torpedoes, because of the weak torpedo protection, that might be the big impact. We'll see. Let's move on. Then we got Leone, Italian destroyer. Italian is Le. Are you sure this isn't the French destroyer? Le Terrible Volume 2. Let's see, health pool 13.7 seems pretty standard, pretty decent actually for that tier. Main battery, that's a lot of main battery. Can they shoot at both sides? This one can, this one can, this one can. Wait, where's the last one? There it is. That's a heavy broadside. What's the reload? 8.5 second reload on 120s. That can be a pretty decent gunboat there. The torpedo, in return though, the torpedo power is literally something they took from Walmart's discount aisle. 12k range, that's pretty nice, but the damage is only 13.4, 13.4, and you only have 4 of them. So even YOLOing in this thing, you can launch all 4 to one side at least, but even when YOLOing someone, your damage potential is like 50k with the torps. If you land all 4 torps on someone, it's 50k minus torpedo belt reduction. So you can't really one-shot any battleship in the same tier unless they're very, very vulnerable. 60-second torpedo reload is interesting, and the 12 km range means that this ship can probably be played at like a medium distance, and you can constantly just spam these torps, even though it's only 4 at a time, because of the range. Holy crap, they're slow as well. But because of the range, I guess it's kind of like deep sea mines, you can drop them off. Mostly it appears to be a very gunboat focused ship though. Turret traverse is 22.5, it's kind of cruiser-esque, it's decent. The reload is pretty good though, and the DPM looks quite interesting. How's the speed? 34! That is a slow destroyer. 34 knots. That is a slow destroyer. Holy shit. Is it the slowest of its tier? I'm pretty sure. Like, even the stock ships, 35.5, 36.
Man, you look like you are from Star Trek's mirror
38.
like that.
OJ Simpson in 952, thank you for 4 months. 38 knots, 36.5, 35, 36.5. Yeah, like this thing is slow. 34 knots is very slow. Turning circle, decent. Rudder shift, pretty good as well. But the speed is going to be an absolute issue. How large is it actually? Let's compare it to like Farragut. It doesn't seem to be that large. It's slightly larger. The issue is though, Joe Sunny, thank you for the 18 months. The issue is that this is a lot of stuff sticking out from the waterline, and it sticks up so high. Like this thing looks like a goddamn square, which seems very, very easy to hit for other destroyers. Does it have any armor? No. So, very farmable in that sense that this thing will take a lot of damage. This thing will take a lot of damage, and it's slow. The concealment 7.0, so you add the concealment expert, you get at what, 6.3 km concealment. Tier 6, that's pretty okay. I guess it might be okay. It eats a lot of damage, but it has a lot of firepower in return. It might be a decent trade-off. Might be a decent one. And what kind of consumables are we looking at? Bog standard damage con, orange, elf. Thank you for the sub. Dosani, thank you for the 8. What about the smoke? Short duration, but pretty long action time, pretty long reload. Decent smokes. Only 3 of them though. You're gonna run out of these pretty quickly because the short duration. What about the speed boost? Is it unique speed boost? No, it's only 8%. No French 20%. So only an 8% boost on top of the 34. That's gonna be questionable. The AA is as expected on a destroyer. Yeah, it's literally an angry Italian chef throwing pasta at the planes. That's kind of our AA on this thing. So yeah, not much to be said on that one. I don't know. Potential, sure. Gonna suck when up tiered. Gonna really suck when up tiered. But I mean, find a tier 6 destroyer that doesn't kind of suck when up tiered. So yeah, that's probably gonna be an issue regardless. Let's see, what do we have next? Now we have Soviet Destroyer. Well, that's a lot of Cyrillic, but the translation is Neustrashimy. Neutralize Shimakaze in Russian, for those that don't speak Russian. Neutralize Shimakaze. I translated for you. You're welcome. Alright, let's start by looking at the consumables this time. This was the one that I thought looked really lethal when we saw the early stats. Let's see if it's changed in any way. Standard damage control. Only 2 smokes. Only 2 smokes. So spec-wise, Superintendent is pretty much probably standard on this one. Defensive AA, it's a 300%, nothing else you can select. We do have a heal. But yeah, I think with this many consumables and this useful consumables, Superintendent is gonna be necessary on this thing. HP per second, 102, 28 seconds, 2.8k healing with a 20% flag. That's like what, 560 health on top. I mean, it'll be a nice chunk of health with survivability expert on top as well. That should be pretty decent. So health pool 20.5. Looks pretty flattened. It kind of looks like a bar. It looks very modern, actually. Wow, these turrets look extremely modern. Is this some sort of 1950s shit? That's what it kind of looks like. I don't know. And let's see, main battery guns. Only 4 guns. Super Ognovoy. It's a Cold War ship. Yeah, that was my first reaction as well. It looked so modern. Launched 1951. Yeah, okay, as expected. 4 second reload on the guns. Oh, but that's very interesting. Let me show you guys. You see that 950 meter per second shell velocity? That means these are Grozovoy guns. These are the modern Grozovoy guns, which means that the AP penetration is going to be absolutely absurd on these things, and you can probably Citadel cruisers very easily on this thing. 4 second, 10 second turret traverse. If we slot like some things like main battery mod. Let's see, maybe concealment. Let's see what kind of stats we can get on this thing. Now we got a 3.5 second reload, and then we maybe add BFT on top, and we're sitting on a 3.2 second, 3.15 second reload actually. Even with only 2 guns, that can be some significant firepower, because as we mentioned, Grozovoy is kinda scary, and this is very scary. That's a 6.2 km concealment without concealment expert. That's a 6.2 km concealment without concealment expert. Hold on. Let's do some testing here. Yes, go away. 5.6 km concealment on a ship with Grozovoy gunpowder. Torpedoes, very long cooldown, damage. Speed is nice though, range is decent. I mean, very much more gunboats, that's something. I guess when I called it the Neutralize Shima, I really wasn't joking, huh? 5.6 km concealment with this gunboat build that you can build on top of this with this. What's our maneuverability? Ooh, it doesn't handle too well though. It's 700 meter turning circle, that's approaching cruiser levels. In speed of 36, I guess we slap with the speed flag and the speed boost. We can get some of these 37.8, and then we got what, 8% from this thing. Shima will still be able to outrun it. It was only 8%. Shima will have no issues outrunning it. The problem is, it's gonna be trading quite hard on you. I don't know. It seems like literally Ognevoy Volume 2, Ognevoy version 1951. The guns are kind of scary. The torpedo is not really that special. What's the AA like? Yeah, not gonna exactly shatter any records with that thing. I don't know. You gotta remember this thing has a heal though, and with this stuff, we're talking a 24k health. It's a stealthy gunboat that's gonna be able to nail targets at very long range. I don't know. It's got potential. It's absolutely got potential. No doubt. Could be interesting. Needs Ovechkin? Yeah, I guess with Ovechkin on top of this captain, it might be quite scary, but I'm thinking like you build something like you add BFT on top of this thing, and even though you only have, we're talking, you only have 4 guns, but 3.2 second reload on these guns. Depends on the firing angles, of course. You got to remember that both the guns are at very far ends, and this gun is at unlikely it's a 360. I mean, maybe it can turn the turrets up and turn 360 degrees. That's a possibility. I don't know. We'll see. Interesting. Questionable? Interesting. Did you check the missiles? Those look like depth charges in the back. Where's the missiles at? They put a lot of detail into this one. Still though, we'll see. Interesting, but we'll see. Maybe questionable. They didn't add them yet? Yeah, well... Are we gonna have the next Russian gimmick? Because 950-meter shells that Citadel cruisers isn't enough, now we gotta have cruisers. And now, of course, the ship that none of you have clearly been waiting for. What is actually the description here? Powerful high-speed ship Project B-65 designed to destroy American heavy cruisers and confront Alaska-class large cruisers. Some design solutions were borrowed from Yamato-class battleships. She was armed with 9 310mm guns and had good anti-torpedo protection. US Marine Call, Flamu NA t-shirt, and 3 other merchandise. Holy shit. Thank you, my dude. My dude, keep up the great streams. Thank you, my dude. Thank you for... That was a lot of fucking merchandise. And fluffy pillows, thank you for the 9 months.
Actually humble. I think I'm much more humble than you would
Right.
understand.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Thank you very much, fluffy
Carl
pillows.
Suricanet.
Calzeri can it indeed. Not for me tonight though, but... Huh. Oh, that's a lot of planes. That is a lot of planes you got set up there. Interesting. Pretty spicy looking little fella here. Pretty spicy looking little fella here. Baby Yamato. Indeed. Let's see. Let's start by... Can we okay, it's not modifiable yet. Very much Baby Yamato. Let's see. Modules. What can we slot on this thing? Cruiser damage control. Totally a cruiser, by the way. And Hydro and defensive AA. It's 200% high defensive and a 5 km Hydro. Spotter plane. Because it's standard spotter plane. And 3 heals by the looks of it. Pretty decent healing, yes. Health 71.8k. That is certainly significant. Alaska has 60.8 and Kronstadt has 71.5. So at 71.8 it's actually the king of the health, by a very small margin, but still the king of the health. Torpedo protection 22%. I don't know if that really coincides with... And good anti-torpedo protection. I'm not sure how 22%... Well, I guess. Armor though. It's a tier 10. Ah, good point, good point. It is a tier 10. What? Kind of automatically compared it with the Alaska and the Kronstadt? Because I mean, both of those are clearly tier 9 ships. I mean, Ibuki, Alaska, Seattle, Kronstadt. Can anyone really tell a difference? The ships are so identical. Same strength overall. Let's see. What kind of armor are we talking about here? 25 bow, 25 lower bow. 30mm belt. 30mm deck armor. Okay, so what 30mm means is that you bounce 406s, meaning Conqueror AP, Gross Gorforst AP, Montana AP, but the likes of Republic with 430mm guns can actually overmatch it, and Yamato of course can also overmatch it. So 30mm, 30, a lot of 25 here. Then let's see what kind of Citadel armor are we talking about. Whoa, whoa, that's a fucking juicy Citadel you got there, boy. Is there some sort of space? Whoa. That's a lot of Citadel, my friend. Good lord, that's a lot of Citadel. That's not very much armor on it either. I mean, it's designed to look kind of like the Zhao Citadel, which is kind of trolly. But the difference is that the Zhao Citadel is quite low above the waterline. So that's why it trolls you so much. This is a lot of fucking free real estate to be shooting right here. And yeah, I mean, if it hits here, you can be trolling, but if it hits here, you're not trolling anything. Let's see, was there maybe layered armor? So let's turn this off. No, it's just 25mm torpedo belt. No layered. Okay. No layer. So this is like, this is it. This is the Citadel. Huh. See, if I'm a Yamato, or Musashi, or Republic, I see this thing here, I'm sipping my whiskey and I'm celebrating because we're gonna do a lot of damage. We're gonna do a whole lot of damage. Holy shit. That's questionable. Interesting Citadel shape as well. But I mean, I wonder if this Citadel height is final. Because at tier 10, I feel like this thing is going to be very, very vulnerable. But we'll see with the rest of the stats. We'll see with the rest of the stats. Doesn't tell the full story, of course. There are other stats to keep in mind when it comes to survivability, like concealment. 14.7. Let's see, what can we get this concealment to? Let's slap this on it. Slap another captain on it. Now, what are we talking about now? What kind of concealment? 11.6. Now, see, that helps the survivability significantly. That is quite a low, considering how massive this thing is. This is a big goddamn cruiser. 11.6 cam concealment is extremely spicy. That means you're outspotting Hindenburgs, you're outspotting Henrys, you're outspotting a lot of cruisers and all the battleships. So that's a very spicy concealment. Speed though, 34 knots. We are literally as fast as the Leone. 34 knots. We don't have a speed boost though. Didn't have a speed boost on this thing, I think. Nope. Slap this thing on it, by the way. But we do have a speed flag, so yeah, we can break 35 knots, so it's decently fast considering the size and the concealment. 25mm armor though means of course that, well, it's gonna need this concealment and all this because, well, every single battleship in the game is gonna be farming this. And the tier 10 big ones are gonna be farming this as well. Still though, 35.7 knots. Turning circle is garbage at 920, but it is a massive ship, so it makes sense. Rudder shift is pretty shit. AA. Oh. Hello there. You can get some pretty decent value out of this AA. 5 km base, if you add AFT 6, if you add the module 7.2. This one you can buff to 5.1. These 100mm guns can, yeah, with defensive AA active, this thing can certainly shred a fair amount of planes, I'd say. The problem, of course, is with all these so-called totally not battle cruisers but large cruisers, is that no one really slots the AA guns modification because everyone goes for the improved dispersion instead, which usually gimps their AA values compared to what you see on cruisers. Still though, interesting value on it. Artillery, 19 km range, 19.1. Kronstadt has 18.2. I think Stalin had what, 20? Alaska has 19. point something. Pretty similar. Secondaries. 6-cam range secondaries. Oh god. There's gonna be some questionable builds there. Nepturian, thank you for the sub. And then we have the main guns. This is with the reload boost. Remember, I put the 3 million mod, so these values are with the 3 million upgrade. 15.8 second reload. That is pretty fast. Turn time pretty decent. This is without expert. If we add expert, we can cut it from 41.4 to 35.6 second turret traverse. That is not too bad at all. The important value here is, of course, that the HE alpha is very high, and because these guns are 310, we also have 51 millimeters of HE penetration, which means that obviously tanky ships with 50 millimeter armor, Stalingrad for example, can be penetrated by this HE. And with a 5.1k HE alpha, you're gonna get some really disgusting HE volleys with this thing. You're gonna get some really disgusting HE volleys with this thing, absolutely. A chill velocity seems pretty good. Dispersion 196 at 19 kilometer. 196, that seems quite spicy. That seems actually quite spicy. Sigma will of course matter significantly, but it's already better than battleship dispersion. Wonder what the Sigma value is going to be on this thing. Still though, a big difference between this one and the others is that HE alpha and HE penetration are going to play a significant value. Can you play them? I wish. Not allowed. So that's going to be with a 15.8 second reload as well. I think you're going to be burning down a lot of things in this. Like the AP, because of the caliber and the shell velocity and all of this thing, the AP is obviously going to be very useful. But I think this is one of those ships that, much like the Zao type, the HE will also have a lot of value on this thing. Only 27% fire chance, yeah, I mean, it's honestly not that high considering the reload and the amount of guns. Big deciding factor on the ship is obviously going to be the firing angles, and I'm already looking at how big the superstructure is here near the stern. How good of an angle can you actually get on this thing? Because if the citadel stays the way it is right now, then and the firing angles are as questionable as they look, then this back turret is practically going to be unusable. It's going to become like Nelson's third turret, used in extreme situations. Very questionable. 35-degree angle. Fair enough. I think it's going to be debatable, I would say. Just how much value you can get out of it. It's of course work in progress. That's why I put this thing up. Very much subject to change. But if the citadel stays like this, I don't know. It's got the concealment, it's got decent speed. It's absolutely not going to be played like a nose-in type of ship like the Stalingrad, where you just park nose-in and you tank stuff. You can't play this thing like that. It's way much more damage. But moving on flanks and such things, like more Zao-esque gameplay, it might work. Might work. It's going to be another cruiser killer? Questionable. Big issues are, of course, turning circle plus large citadel means potatoes will explode. A lot of potatoes, like, this is, you put a potato in the oven and you leave it on for hours. That's what we're gonna see with this thing. Depends, of course, on how they will be selling it. If it's gonna be another steel ship, but we'll see. No torps. Oh yeah, that's actually pretty significant. IGN cruiser without torpedoes. Ah. I don't know if it historically even had torpedoes. It has torps historically. I mean, that is a possibility then. You never know if they decide to add them later. Maybe it will be a ranked reward. Yeah, but these days ranked reward equals steel chips, steel reward. What else do we actually have on the... While I am on the PTS chat, while I'm on the PTS, let's see. What is this? This is 0.7.12. That's the patch we're talking about. Developer bulletin 0.7.12. Let's see what we see here. Okay, we got our new collections. Oh, we got new campaigns and new collections. Let's see, what do we have? Prince Eitel. Ooh. Prince Eitel Friedrich. A new stage is about to begin. Join the battle, get lots of cool goodies as a reward. Goodies. Das Schlachtschiff Prinz Eitel Friedrich im Gefecht mit einem britischen Geschwader waren der Verstörers in der Atlantik. Do they dare to write in German? I thought it was a Russian company? Questionable. A new directive is now available. Be vigilant and merciless towards adversaries. Absolutely. Oh, here we go. My immersion. Nice accent, you're welcome.
I am actually.
Your
I think
Highness.
I'm much more humble than you
Kane
would understand.
Lolson, thank you for the 4 months. What do we have? What are the rewards? Steel! Secret Santa containers and steel. New Year 2000. Ooh. Shinonome? For 20k credits? What? Well, anyone who hasn't completed that mission, I guess they're gonna get their Shinonome. India. What the fuck? You go from steel to containers to ship, and then you go wah wah wah. India Delta. What a letdown. Zulu Hotel. Another container. Oh, this is super premium account. New Year container. 3 XP. Restless Fire. Imperial Guard. Ooh, more. So you can get steel for all of these. You can get steel for all of these. A lot of goddamn containers. Holy shit, they want to give you. Oh, new camo as well. New Year Streamer. Are they talking about me? Wait, you can't even see it. What? How am I always in the way? How do I do this? Is it a superpower? More steel. More containers. More containers. Some flags, some stuff. Imperial Treasury. Even more steel. So you can get 2000 steel just for completing these directives. It's pretty interesting. Okay. I like the banner. Let's see. What else do we have? We had collections as well. What about the Hall of Fame? You want? Well, I can check the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Pretty boy. What do you get? What does it give us? No idea. We have no idea what it gives us. Collection. Where was... I don't have the collection, huh? Because I haven't unlocked it. Whoops. I can't even see what the rewards are. We got a new campaign though. When did we get Flamu boxes? Oh, Mighty Prince. 6 missions, 22 tasks. Oh my. Wow, like, holy... This looks so amazing compared... Like, what the hell? Like, this is RTX off, RTX on. Open wallet, exactly. Let's see, what do we give here? What does it give us? New Year streamer, what does the final task give me? Atsuharu, camo for it. Mission 2. Nuremberg with camos. All the containers. Icarus. Oh my god, so you know how many potatoes are gonna like get boosted into mid tiers with ships they've never played now? Dallas with the camo as well and containers. Normandy camo containers. Ooh. Wait, so you can get both premiums at the same time. Interesting. Yeah, there's this task. Win a battle in which you earn 100 base XP. Oh my, are we sure we can do this? Let's give it a go. I want to see what the camo looks like. What else do we have? Missions? What else has changed? Was it 15 containers from that last one? Combat missions. Reward on main account. Public test. In the name of His Highness. Okay, let's see. What else? Let me check. Developer bulletin. Mighty Prince campaign. The Steel Monsters campaign. It will be available for purchase through the premium shop. Thank you. Thank you, Wargame. Okay, so wait, we can't even access it, can we? Can we access Steel Giants? No. That's a shame. Can I buy it in the arsenal, maybe? This is coming next patch. This is 0.7.12, so yeah, this is the upcoming patch. That's where the US battleship buff is coming as well, and all that stuff. Okay. Nothing special here. Nothing special here. Looks the same. By Haruguma. Wait, what else did I want to test? What else is there? Steel Monsters campaign. Snowflakes! Hey! To knock a snowflake off a ship, you need to win a battle. Or you need to win the battle. Shit. Except for clan. Okay, you can't do it in clan. The reward for knocking them off is resources to use in the arsenal. Okay. I guess they changed. Wasn't it blow off a snowflake? I guess people kept repeating that too much, so now it's knock off a snowflake. Ranked sprint is back. Woo! Can't wait to play some more Julius Caesar. The warship's premium can't balance. In the upcoming version, we will buff the characteristics of researchable US battleships from tier 3 to tier 9. They will receive decreased rudder shift time and increased efficiency of their repair party. The consumable will now restore 0.66 HP per second. In the past, it restored 0.5. So a significant healing buff. The heals will become much stronger on all the US battleships, and well, the rudder shift change will be to be seen. The tier 9 German battleship Friedrich der Große will also get an increase to the effectiveness of her secondary and main battery guns. The 105mm secondary guns will now penetrate 26mm of armor, while the reload time of the 406mm and 420mm guns will be decreased down to 26 and 29 seconds respectively. With the reload booster, you can get that down to what, like 23 point something second reload on the smaller guns? That could be pretty spicy. Problem is the dispersion is still going to be absolute ass, but... The gameplay of Japanese battleships Myogi and Azuma will become more comfortable in update 0.7.12 due to an increase in armor penetration of their AP shells, while the main guns on Myogi will receive a buff to their reload time. It will decrease down to 28 seconds. Okay, and they're reworking Okinawa. Wow, that's actually... We should see if we could get some Okinawa. I want to see how that new one plays. It might still be questionable because it's Okinawa, and I don't think that map can be salvaged. Okay, let's see. Let's play a game in one battleship.